Hi, folks. SomRa here with Joyous Awakening in the Great Smoky Mountains of Appalachia. I know this is a photo, but if I could, I would be on a mountaintop on the Blue Ridge Parkway reporting to you right now. But guess what? The parkway is still closed even 6 months after Hurricane Helene due to destruction and repairs. The Blue Ridge Parkway is a major tourist attraction that would normally be booming with locals and visitors driving, hiking, exploring, shopping. The local economy relies on tourism. So please do come visit this year. The region is still a long way from recovery, but there's so much beauty to see and experience. And lots of towns, stores, art studios, music venues, outdoor adventure places, and more are back up and running now, ready to love you with their wares, services, and hospitality. Now, in this part 3 video of my walkthrough of a major thoroughfare in Asheville, North Carolina that was devastated by Hurricane Helene's flooding, I've got some surprises for you. These include happy Reconstruction progress, some shocking information that needs to be told, some insightful resource links in the description below, and I'm going to tell you about a metaphysical experience I had while filming part 1 of this video series of Asheville, North Carolina. So be sure to watch all the way through. Here we go. I'm on North Tunnel Road, and we're heading towards South Tunnel Road where all the destruction was and that I have been filming over the past few months. So I just came from Swananoa. So going to Tunnel Road in Asheville, South Tunnel Road. We're going to see if it's now open. Is the bridge fixed? We're about to find out. My other camera died, so here we are. This is Swananoa River Road. I'm crossing. I'm on South Tunnel Road. This is the area I've been filming, and look at this. I'm driving on the bridge. That's Swananoa River. It's repaired. It's the first time. This is awesome. So I'm crossing back over the bridge now again. There's Swananoa River right there. That's 240. That's the U-Haul down there. It looks like they're trying to get things going. That's exciting. So I'm looking up South Tunnel Road. The mall is on the left. There's the Walgreens. They're still under construction. You can see. And Lowe's is still under construction. So I'm going to head up towards Walmart. There's Oli Guacamole, still totally demolished, which we would expect. Here we go. So this is the road I've been walking on my prior videos. Wow, it's been raining heavy. Look how wide the river is today. That's pretty wide. All right, so here's U-Haul. Yeah, it looks like they got some action happening. They got some trailers there, boxes maybe. Doesn't look like they'll be in business for a while yet, though. We're heading up towards Walmart. Wow, they've really cleared out a lot. Still more construction going on. There's the car wash. Yeah, that's still under construction. Wow, they've cleared a ton of debris and cars and all kinds of parts of stuff. There's the Aldi. So that's still definitely under construction, but it's looking better than last time I was here. Okay, it looks like all these stores and restaurants may be going now. No, Cheddar's is still under construction. That's a restaurant right there. there's Discount Tire. They're happening. They got totally flooded. Don't know if you can see because the sun. I've gotten tires from them before. So you can see they got a new back door there. It's all taped up. Okay. Parking lot is totally redone at the Super Walmart after Hurricane Helene. So they said the freezer cases and refrigerator cases weren't open and weren't usable yet, are available just dry goods. Let's see. Looks about the same as it did, although look at this shiny floor. Much nicer than it was before. So it looks like they have the whole deli section still blocked off, and the refrigerators and freezer sections are still all sealed off, not available. Okay, so I just talked to some employees, and they said that the coolers, the freezers and the cooler sections are behind the white wall. They're rebuilding that section, and that they expect it to be open in May of 2025. They expect it to be better too, and redesigned a little differently. Oh, it's the mystery behind the wall. I guess we'll find out in May. Electronics is back happening. Can you imagine all the stuff that was destroyed in the flood? Wow. So there's the car wash. And that trailer that was smashed against the tree, that yellow trailer, is gone. Thank goodness. The river is cleaned up significantly. Wow. This is a whole lot different. Okay, there's 240. There's the U-Haul. Now, sorry, the sun's kind of in the camera view, so I'll just do the best I can. And now I am crossing the intersection. There's the Walgreens. There's Asheville beds, still all gutted out, a lot of trash everywhere. Goodwill's open, and it looks like Lowe's might be open. Nope, workers only. Okay. Excuse me, sir. Are you working guard right here to make sure people... I'm just letting people know, like, what's going on. Like, do you know when Lowe's is opening or anything like that?
Should be in 2 more months.
Two more months to, like, mid-May or something like that? Cool.
That's what they're shooting for.
Okay. You don't work for Lowe's, do you? So you don't know, like, what? I assume it was all totally damaged.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see progress is happening.
Yeah.
All right.
The water was up to the letters.
Other water was up to the letters? Yeah. Yeah. I saw some drone footage. It was mind-blowing.
Yep. Something like 22 dead were found inside.
That's what I heard, that there were some bodies found inside. 22? Wow. Wow. It's sad to hear about, but yeah. Well, at least we're all, hanging in there and getting stronger.
Yes, ma'am.
Through it all. Well, thank you so much. Wow. Okay. So he said that he was aware of around 22 dead people found in the Lowe's store as the floodwaters receded. And I'd also heard reports of that from employees in some other videos. And so here's what happened to me, which all kind of connects. So when I was filming on January 18th, when I was doing my walkthrough and the road was still closed, and I was filming part 1 of this video series, I was going down Swananoa River Road on the other side of where I drove today in this video. And so I was going down along the river right beside the Lowe's. And there was all kinds of debris that you may have remembered if you saw part one. And it was like trailers and crumpled up stuff, metal and all kinds of things, parts of houses and stuff. And as I was going down that road along the side of Lowe's, and the road kind of curved a little bit further down, I was suddenly overwhelmed by a high pitched screech in my ears. And those of you who are intuitive know, you've probably heard tones in your ear before. You know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know, I am an intuitive healer, psychic to some degree, you might think of, and aware of a lot of things. And it's part of my profession. So, but I wasn't expecting it then. I was very much in filming mode, and just it was the first time I'd been down Tunnel Road since the hurricane. And so I was very focused on that and getting good footage for you guys, the viewers. And so the high pitched sound got louder, and I had this overwhelming, eerie feeling. It just kept increasing. And the type of tone that I was hearing, the frequency I was hearing, I recognized was fourth dimensional, as in it was either were some nefarious people around the corner, there was some danger, and I needed to turn around, or it's ghosts for the most part. So I didn't really give much thought to it. I just turned around and started going back. So you may notice in that video, I abruptly stopped, and now I'm suddenly going back the other way with no explanation. It wasn't the time to explain what was happening. So, and I wasn't quite sure what was going on. So later that evening, I contacted one of my colleagues, part of our Joyous Awakening team, Regé Ashley. She also happens to be my stepdaughter, and she's an excellent, excellent psychic. She's very good at details, just absolutely amazing. So we often compare notes and tune into things when we're trying to understand something that's going on. And I said, here's what happened. What do you get that was going on? And she basically explained that it was several people who had died and were stuck in the area. And some of them didn't even know that they were dead. And this is not uncommon. When people die in suddenly and tragic events and things like that, a lot of times they don't really realize they're dead. It's not their soul. It's a piece of their consciousness, you might say. Their human identity is kind of stuck. And that's what a ghost actually is. It's not a soul or a spirit necessarily in the higher sense of things. And they still see their body. They're walking around, but they don't understand why nobody hears them or sees them, or responds to them. So I was actually responding to them because I would hear the energy. I hear frequencies, and then I would turn, and those were words that I was hearing as frequencies. They were speaking. And so they knew that I could perceive them. And so they started coming and gathering around me, and it was becoming overwhelming. And that's why I was like, oh, I need to get out of here, because the vibe was very eerie and uncomfortable. And of course, there was a lot of trauma energy around that. These people were very distressed and very confused. And so I kind of had a feeling I was looking along the riverbed for any signs of bodies or anything like that, but I couldn't see it. Well, it didn't really occur to me till much later, even after I talked with Regé. And by the way, she perceived that there were 28 ghost entities there, that people who had died in the flood. And some of them are homeless, but some of them weren't, beforehand. So I knew what to do after we hung up. I knew that I was to send them into the light. And that's some of the work that I do. It's kind of a side job. It's not my primary work. But if you're interested in land healing and clearing entities from your property, your home, things like that, you can check out the link below for more information about that work that I do. So anyway, I don't have to be at the location to do this work at all. And so I basically tuned into the space, tuned into all the beings that were there, and with lots of love and with the techniques that I use, sent them into the light. All but 4 were ready to go. So that relieved the situation, helped clear the energy of the area. So when we found out from after I talked to the security guard about 22 bodies that he was aware of that were in Lowe's, it suddenly all clicked because I was looking along the riverbed for these people, and it is possible because if there's piles of mud, people can be buried in the mud. That's all over these mountains, folks. Thousands of people died in this event all through Western North Carolina, East Tennessee, and surrounding areas. That's just not reported, and they'll never be found. Some of these people will never be found. They're buried under many feet of mud. And so, anyway, once I made the connection that, oh, most of these, if not all of them, were in Lowe's, I talked to Roger again. We tuned in, and she got that there were 24 bodies in Lowe's that were found. And so they essentially were those people that were trying to reach me. For the most part, there were a few others lingering around in the area that didn't end up in the store. So the water was incredibly intense. And as you could see in the aerial footage, it flowed right into the Lowe's store and just forced the doors open. Lowe's was completely muddied up, so many feet of mud left behind. We certainly send compassion to all the family members, anyone who has lost people and haven't found them, don't know where they are. If that's something that you need, wherever you are, Verger offers that service as well. She can speak to passed away loved ones and help bring communication, understanding. She's provided many details that are unquestionable, that's just like, oh, it's like there's no way she could know to help you make the connection that she really is hearing and listening to your loved one. And if there's something incomplete and you want healing along those lines or want to know what happened, she can help you with that. So you'll see the link in the description for her work for that. We very compassionately love to help people, again, to heal trauma, come to resolution, and find their peace again, whatever it is in their lives. So we don't want to make a big deal about this. This is not very publicly known. Of course, Lowe's, like any store, would want to keep this information probably private because this is quite a tragedy. And I've talked to other store employees, even in Walmart. They said that I asked if there were dead bodies found, and they said if there were, people I talked to, they said if there were, they wouldn't have told us because they wouldn't have wanted that to be known publicly. So I simply share this information to help you understand what went on here and that this is major. This was major beyond what the mainstream media has even begun to scratch the surface of. And it's folks like us who are on the ground doing the interviews, doing the research, doing the digging, sometimes literally, and finding out the truth. So I thank you for caring about all of us out here in Western North Carolina and the surrounding areas who were affected by Hurricane Helene. We know many people all over the states have been devastated since then from fires and floods. And there's more to all of this. So I invite you to explore more deeply what this is really about. Got some more links below to get you going. I will provide any other videos whenever I can. I travel with my work and things like that, so I can't post very often, but I'll do what I can to keep you aware of what's really going on from the inside. And oh, I've got one more piece of important information to share with you. So keep watching and thank you. Blessing.